Welcome to Pool Pro Office Training Video Series. Today we're going to learn how to schedule your projects out in Pool Pro Office. First thing I'm going to do is go ahead and go to the project I want to schedule out. I'm going to go to Mike Need a Pool, one that we just signed. And I'm going to go ahead and go to the Schedule tab. This will have our pre-built schedule in there. This was just signed actually yesterday, Friday. And from there I'm going to go ahead and schedule the sales checklist out. So we're going to schedule that to be done on Monday. We're going to also schedule the building the folder out on Monday and scanning the documents in on, we'll actually do that today. We'll scan a few documents in already. We did receive the deposit check on last Thursday or Friday, and I'll mark that as completed. In the Schedule tab, this is really the most important date, is the date you plan on accomplishing this milestone, the begun date. The begun date puts it onto your calendar, and from there you can manage it from that point on. You can also color code these. Construction plan, we're going to start that one on scheduled to begin on Monday also. So that's as far as I can schedule this one out at this point, but we could also have scheduled more out if we had that capability. At each process, you could also assign who was responsible for that. So you know who accomplished this task. You could also put notes. You might also want to, let's put signed contract. I could add an image. This could be a photograph, it could be a document. So at each milestone you can store documents and images per milestone. I'm going to go ahead and click add one. And I'm going to my scan folder and I'll pull in that proposal. And that load that proposal in. When I close, and you'll see I could also add another document, and it would show up here in the thumbnails as multiple documents, and I could view those. After I insert a document or an image, you'll notice that a green dot appears. I can click on that green dot at any time, and it will display that image. So I can view those documents throughout the schedule process. In the schedule process, there were some pre-built templates in here, thanking them for signing the contract. Whatever you build in there could be sent. And with the click of a button, that template creates an email template that I could send to the client, who it's from, and I could create any message I want or copy anybody in that email also. I'll go ahead and send. And this would send this client a thank you letter for signing their contract with Artful Pools. Email sent. It would also log it into the Communications tab that an email communication was sent. So as we scheduled these milestones out, from here I could go ahead and go to the project calendar. And once I schedule a milestone out, you will see they'll be added to the project calendar. This will give us a monthly view. It's color-coded. The green's begun, not completed. The blues are completed milestones. Grays are in a, orange is an issue, red is stalled, and yellow is waiting. So I could pre-schedule those events out. For example, on this one, I pre-scheduled that out Pool Pro Office scans. So once I'm finished with that, all I'd have to do is put a completed date, and it would add to the completed date, and I could add notes. And this syncs with that project folder schedule tab. So whatever you change in the calendar view syncs over there also. So you could change it any place you want. In the calendar view, I could see what's scheduled in advanced, and I could also see what has been completed, what has been started, and not completed yet. There's a permit that was applied last week. We haven't received it back yet. So the calendar is an extremely powerful way to view all your milestones scheduled out. Once you build a calendar, and there's 3 different calendars: the scheduled to begin calendar, the completed calendar, and a begun through completed. When you first log in, this calendar is going to be blank till you define which calendar you want to display. The most popular one is the scheduled to begin, because it will show all milestones and color-coded all milestones. The completed ones just show the completed tasks, which I can still see in the scheduled to begin. And the begun through completed one is really for projects that will last weeks to 2 weeks, and it creates almost like a Gantt chart. But for most pool builders, it's easiest to manage it from the scheduled begin calendar. Also from the calendar, once it's created, I could select by job, and I could view only the milestones for this particular job on the calendar. I could filter by supervisor, so if I was a supervisor, I only need to see what's pertinent to me on my calendar. I don't have to see what everyone else has got scheduled, whatever other projects. I could sort by designer, and I could also sort by subcontractor. So I could view all my deck crews milestones scheduled out for this month through that sort. While you're in the calendar and you need to do some more scheduling, that can be accomplished right here with Select Active Project. What it enables you to do is to go to any particular project you need to schedule another milestone out on. Let's just take, let me find one here. We'll just take this one here, and we'll go to this project. We'll go to the Schedule tab, and we'll schedule something else out. We'll take the excavation, and we'll schedule that out for Tuesday. And once I finish scheduling that out, I could assign it to the excavator. That would be Buccaneer Steel. And then I could close this schedule tab, and it takes me right back to the calendar. So once you're in the calendar, you can schedule more milestones and projects out by staying in the calendar and going to the project, creating the schedule on there, and there it is, my chart excavations on the calendar. And then I could expand it again to a weekly view, which will give me the daily view of each of the milestones. Once I'm in the calendar view for scheduling, I can adjust this again. If I need to reschedule this date, the steel checklist, I need to set that for Wednesday. We had some rain that day. All I've got to do is change the date, and it changes it on the calendar view. I could also change who's responsible in case that you had to change who was going to accomplish this task, and I could add additional notes again. So the calendar view and the schedule tab in each project folder are synced together and are very powerful on communicating where everything is under construction and what the current status is of those projects. You can also view that in the job board. The job board, and there'll be a separate video on how to manage on the job board. The job board will initially come up as a blank record. You have to then choose how you want to build your job board, and that's by report selections. If I want to go from signed contract to any given start to finish. So if I was a scheduler only involved in the front end, I could create my job board to only view the front end. Or I could go all the way down to the bottom and create a complete job board. The job board is a beautiful picture. It shows you all your projects, all your milestones, and it color codes those statuses. It is not the fastest part of Pool Pro Office because there are 72 live data cells per job, and it's got to do the search for that. It does work very well on if you host it there in the office. It's very quick at that point. If you're on the internet, it depends on your internet speed, how long it's going to take to generate this. I'm actually hooked up on the internet, so you're viewing that as a subscription base, not hosted at your location. But it will create that job board. And at that point, you'll be able to see all your projects. On the left-hand side, you could go to any of those projects, and you also be able to mouse over. The job board generally on the iPad is not easily viewable, only because of the power it takes to generate this display. Once you have a job board built, you can also sort. You can sort by supervisor, by salesperson. You can also sort by alphabet, by number of milestones completed. But it gives you a real nice, beautiful overview. It's like the grease board on the wall or cards on the wall. This shows you all your projects, all your milestones, and what the current color code status of each of those milestones. And you can mouse over and view those. So it gives you a brief, quick overview on all your projects. So that concludes today's video on how to schedule and manage your projects in Pool Pro Office. Stay tuned for the next training video. Thank you.